Hello. Today, Natasha Cannon, Grayson Steele, Giovanni Gonzalez, Michael Herr, and Fernando Lopez will be discussing the PAC Resources case study in regards to safety and security. After conducting a SWOT analysis for PAC Resources, some strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities were discovered. First, I shall discuss the strengths and weaknesses. In the strengths category, the open door management policy seemed to be very effective with employees. Next, enhanced communication efforts. This was established once employees were asked to take surveys regarding how they felt about certain issues in the company and how they liked their job. Last was the Employee Assistance Program. For the weakness section, it was discovered after many complaints from employees that there was poor management, lack of policy enforcement, and unfair practices going on. This resulted in a lack of communication and cooperation. Next, I would like to discuss the opportunities and threats discovered from the SWOT analysis. In the opportunities section, the development of an idea blog would allow current employees to learn from past employees' successes and failures on certain projects. Next, the business plan to set goals, which is very important for every organization, and the possibility of a cost-saving allocation plan. Some threats include the decline in sales, the increasing rate of workers' comp claims, the possibility of backlash staff reductions, and cost containment.
I conducted a SWOT analysis on the safety and security department. Some strengths of this area was that they had an active wellness program. It was an on-site health fair empowering healthy employees. The program also reimbursed 50% of the cost for weight loss and smoking programs. The training was also another strength. Some weaknesses was that the economics audit was so involved that Mr. Vasquez was not able to do anything other than work on this area. Management was ill-prepared and not ready for all the responsibilities of the safety and security department. The hiring freeze may have been a cause to not have enough personnel to work on the hazard analysis. Some threats were that workers were having a lot of compensation claims. An opportunity for this area was that Mr. Vasquez was an expert in ergonomics, and he may alleviate some of the workers' compensation problems, especially with carpal tunnel. The job hazard analysis was also an opportunity. They developed a cost-saving risk allocation plan with the finance department.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Giovanni Gonzalez, and I will be talking about the job hazard analysis. In case you didn't know, a job hazard analysis is a technique that focuses on job tasks as a way to identify hazards before they occur. It focuses on the relationship between the worker, the task, the tools, and the work environment. Ideally, after you identify uncontrolled hazards, you will take steps to eliminate or reduce them to an acceptable risk level. Now, there are a couple ways to conduct a job hazard analysis. To begin, the first question we ask, what can go wrong? A good example of that being, the worker's hand could come into contact with a rotating object that catches it and pulls it into the machine. Next question, what are the consequences to come? The worker could receive a severe injury and lose fingers or even worse, his own hand. The next question, how could it happen? The accident could happen as a result of the worker trying to clear a snag during operations or as part of a maintenance activity while the pulley is operating. Obviously, this hazard scenario could not occur if the pulley is not rotating. The last question to ask, what are other contributing factors? This hazard occurs very quickly. It does not give the worker much opportunity to recover or prevent it once his hand comes into contact with the pulley. This is an important factor because it helps you determine the severity and likelihood of an accident when selecting appropriate hazard controls. Unfortunately, experience has shown that training is not very effective in hazard control when triggering events happen quickly because humans can react only so quickly. helpful things in decreasing workers' comp come in a couple areas. As follows: a job hazard analysis would in fact be very helpful because it would help in minimizing all the potential hazards that are present. There have been high claims in many employers having carpal tunnel syndrome. The one way to do that in reducing it is by having ergonomics and having the proper working equipment to help reduce these types of problems for future employees. Another way is to educate and train employees properly so that way they know what it is that they are doing. They regularly review safety programs, make sure that they are always up and running and working properly. And if you really want to, you can hire a risk management company to come in and assess all the problems and see what can be fixed. As for the wellness activities and flexible scheduling, PAC has an active wellness program in partnership with a local hospital. PACT conducts an annual on-site health fair providing employees with free immunizations and voluntary health risk assessments. Since maintaining a healthy weight and not smoking are especially important, PAC reimburses employees for 50% of the cost of weight loss and smoking cessation programs. PAC also maintains an employee assistance program. It is a very good perk for the company because many people choose the jobs they want based on the programs the companies offer. So, if a company were to offer good programs, it makes employees that much more interested on becoming a part of the company. Business and flexible scheduling. A flexible work schedule is an alternative to the traditional 9 to 5, 40-hour work week. It allows employees to vary their arrival and or departure times. Under some policies, employees must have a prescribed number of hours, a pay period, and be present during a daily core time. Some employees work flexible schedules and some telecommute a few days a week if it is appropriate to the job. Since they do work on flexible schedules, then they are able to work with the employees and help them out in easier ways. So it is one less thing they have to worry about and just do work whenever they do arrive to work. And now Natasha will talk about the differentiation of health coverages.
With PAC having 835 full-time employees, they are required by the employer mandate to provide health insurance to their full-time employees. If they do not abide by the employer mandate, PAC may have to pay per employee or per month a fee called the Employees Shared Responsibility Payment. PAC needs to ensure that they offer the coverage to 95% of their full-time employees and that it complies with the Affordable Care Act. If the insurance offered does not meet the minimum value, and if the coverage is not affordable, meaning that the employee's premium is more than 9.66% of their annual household income, they will have to pay that fee. The Affordable Care Act allows just 4 factors to increase premiums: age, family size, location, and tobacco use. In an interview with Patrick Turner, the Director of Employment and Training at the Fresno Economic Opportunities Commission, I learned that a company can use tobacco usage as a factor in determining how much of a shared cost of the premium the employee will pay. As far as dependents, usually that isn't a factor in calculating the premium, but if a company deems tobacco usage is against their core values of the organization, then it could be used against the employee's premium rate. In California, tobacco users are not a protected class. Therefore, they are not eligible for discrimination protection. With that being said, smoking is the leading preventable cause of death and disability in the world. If an employee has a pre-existing condition due to long-term smoking, the employee will not be turned down, but their premium can be increased. PAC has a tobacco wellness program that can work in favor of the employee. If any employee who smokes completes the program and continues to not smoke, the insurance could in turn reduce their insurance premium after a 1-year period. So, yes, PAC can provide different levels of coverage for smokers and non-smokers. Dependents who smoke will affect their premium rate. And there is not a discrimination issue here because smoking is not a protected class.
Having an employee that is suspected of drinking or being intoxicated on the job is a serious hazard to the employee themselves as well as the entire organization. Working in a manufacturing facility exponentially raises the risk of the intoxicated employee harming themselves or another employee, as well as potentially damaging expensive equipment. The company should also be concerned with the legal fees involved with an intoxicated employee injuring another employee, such as legal fees and financial compensation for the injured employee. All these unnecessary fees could add up for a company that's already short on money. There are a series of several steps that need to take place to ensure an issue of possible substance abuse while on the job is handled properly by the managers and the HR department. The first step is for other employees to begin to complain about another employee being intoxicated to their managers. An employee cannot be tested on hearsay alone, so the next step is for a member of management to observe the suspected employee. After a manager has made an observation and determined the employee may be intoxicated, the employee should be moved from their work zone for theirs and the other employees' safety. The employee should not be asked to take the test right away. Rather, another unbiased member of management should make an observation to see if they come to the same determination as the first manager. After another member of management agrees the employee is in fact under the influence, the manager should document the things that led to the accusations and the qualifying factors that led them to believe the employee was in fact intoxicated, such as smell, slurred speech, or erratic behavior. After all these steps have taken place and everything has been documented, the employee under suspicion of being intoxicated on the job should be notified that they are under suspicion and they are going to be transported to a testing facility. This conversation should come from a top manager with the witness in the room just in case the employee decides to act erratically. Once the employee is notified of the accusations, they should be provided transportation to the testing facility in a cab paid for by the company to reduce the company's liability if something happened on the way to the testing facility. Once the test is completed, the employee should be transported home, where they will await the company's decision. After the employee is tested, the HR department will receive the test results, and depending on the results, the HR department will proceed with the actions listed in the company's policy regarding these issues.